Hey everybody, welcome to the GMG review. Today I'm taking a look at Stargrave Quarantine 37 by my buddy Joseph McCullough, published by Osprey. Now, this was sent to me as a free sample, and a big thanks to Phil at Osprey for sending it along, and is a three-part supplement for Stargrave, adding a whole new sort of gaming experience involving both the undead and killer bugs in a sort of horror movie environment of a derelict space station. Now, what you've got in here is a solo campaign and then two separate head-to-head campaigns, one against the zombie menace of, I think it's Hadron's Plague on Imperial Research Station 37, and the other one against evil alien space bugs. Now, the solo play campaign is also three parts and involves the zombies, although you could, of course, having used the rules from that book, freestyle your own sort of solo rules for Stargrave. So what do we got in here? We've got a 74-page expansion that also adds new soldiers, new backgrounds for your captain and your first mate, new powers to play with, and then of course, sorry, it's Hastian's Plague. I'm sorry, Joe, I can't remember your made-up names. And then Chapter 3 is the Shuffling Dead, which is the it's four parts actually. Four-part campaign, mini-campaign for Quarantine 37, and then Strike from the Shadows, which has some evil alien space bugs to fight. Then finally, Chapter 5, Going Solo, has special rules for crew building, loot tokens, powers, the turn sequence, creature actions at the end of the game, and Chapter 6 is Back to the Ship, which is a four-part solo campaign for playing basically Stargrave with your bone crew against an AI. And then last but not least, Advanced Technology, an Advanced Technology list for add-ons to the game. So, we finally get a bestiary too with bugs, zombies, and then the attribute lists for those creatures themselves. And that takes us, to 95 pages. I missed that, of course, overleaf. Incoming transmission. During the last war, there was an Imperial Research Station. It went quiet. No one knows why, but a distress signal has been sort of like received by the pirate crews and different salvage crews out there to try and investigate it, and that's where we get to Station 37. So it could be full of alien space bugs or marauding zombies of sort of like dealer's choice, but it gives you kind of a horror movie theme to play with. So new backgrounds and powers. We have an aristocrat, also the longest running joke in history, the aristocrats. And some rules for that. And these two new backgrounds kind of revolve around the new powers that have been added in as well to kind of give you more of a sort of like a mixed character. So it's not just remixing the core rulebook powers and stuff, it's giving you access to new ones. And then the hunter, the alien hunter. So you could have a humanoid alien hunter, or you could have a space hunter with weird mouth that blows up and laughs and turns invisible if you want as well. The new powers, Beast Call, so you can actually summon someone to the table. Crack Shot for shooting. It's a 19+ crit now for shooting attacks. Contacts, which allow you to look for an item of advanced technology between games, which is pretty cool. And then Indifference, I love this one. If you pass it, it's strain 1, self only. You compartmentalize pain and shock. You don't count as being wounded ever. In addition, whenever you suffer damage that would stun you, you can just choose to be stunned or not. So if you want to go into cover and get stunned, you can or not. Indifference seems like one of the most powerful powers you could have. Just like in real life, being indifferent is hugely powerful. You get Inspiring, Investments, where you can gain 50 creds. If you just do it, it's out of game. Just get some money. I like the investments one. And then Study Your Prey. To earn extra experience for killing a certain type of creature. And then weapon maintenance, this one's pretty cool. Select a carbine, shotgun, or pistol. It becomes indestructible out of game, gains +1 damage, and never jams for the duration of the next game. So you can upgrade your weapons. New soldiers, Gunfighter with some 2-gun moxie. A Mule is kind of like the Mule from Frostgrave that carries items and stuff. A Q-Bot, they are basically a bot that does whatever you need it to do. So it can have a deck or a pick. It's got a one-shot grenade launcher or one-shot flamethrower. So it's kind of like the Chiseler, but better in every way because it's a robot. Ravaged, these are survivors of Hastian's plague survivors who are zombies. They have a high pain threshold, and then you can have a Ravaged Trooper as well, which is basically a trooper level guy who survives. You can have Ravaged for free, which is cool. You can just have zombie troopers. Trophy Taker, actually it'd be cool playing the campaign to take Ravage just for fun. A trophy taker, there's sort of hunter people. Maybe you've got some cobblestone alien hunters you want to use. These would be good for that. They have carbines, light armor, hand-to-hand weapons, beast fighter, and trophy taker as a skill, which is a new skill. And then Hassian's Plague. So we get some cool extra rules here for infection when you take damage. If you take zombie damage infection, you might slowly become a zombie later on. It's a fun, different thing. And a crew member that is a crew member replaced by a zombie during a scenario gains 20 experience points. So if you do have them turn against you, you do kind of get rewarded for it. And some beautiful art. Rules for reanimation for guys coming back as zombies when they get killed. And then rules for pings, because every good game needs pings. And then what they're revealed as, if it's worker bugs, warrior bugs, acid spear bugs, 2 warrior bugs, 3 warrior bugs, or worker bugs. I really should paint my own Starship Troopers bugs for this. I'm super tempted, but I also have all the awesome alien stuff from Gale Force 9. But they don't have different kinds of bugs. I don't know. What should I do? What should I do? And then our chapter 3, Shuffling Dead. So I'm not going to ruin all of the campaign stuff, but the one thing I will make note in here is Joe makes a very big plea for not playing in corridors. You might have a Space Hulk set up. Resist the temptation to use it. The game tends to divide into kind of boring walking encounters. If we're playing this game in particular, I don't think it would play super well in corridors and stuff. Absolutely, you could do it, but just imagine that your spaceship is big enough that you could play on a 3x3 board and maybe divide it up into different rooms and stuff with like walls and sections, but playing in actual corridors may not be the best experience for what Joe's written here. So you get your 4 scenarios and the epilogue, and some rules for increasing the challenge level if you want as well. And then the alien bugs with Strike from the Shadows, All Aboard, Last Stop, and then finally the throne room of the alien queen. I do love that they took this awesome iconic piece of art of like the hard suit, so I'm trying to get the glare off of it, and then did the hard suit but with a zombie in it on the cover. I think that's super cool. We got our solo rules for building a crew. And using loot tokens, you probably want to use less, so suggesting 2 to 3 instead of the normal amount. Powers, there's a few powers that just don't do anything, like the cancel power. You're not going to cancel a power if you're not playing against another opponent, so consider what the powers do when you're playing. And then the turn phase is slightly different. It's captain phase, creature phase, first mate phase, and soldier phase, so it bumps the creature phase up, so that happens right after the captain phase. And then creature actions and some advice for if you really want some big solo adventure rules, go check out Paralystic for Frostgrave. Because the core systems are so similar between Frostgrave and Stargrave, most of the advice in there is going to just transfer over directly. So there's lots of good stuff you already wrote in there. And then the solo campaign, get into the lift, Ticket to Ride, and then finally the Queen's Chamber, having shaved through the train, you have to worst your troubles. This one I think mixes zombies and bugs, which I think is amazing. So it's like both. There's both in there, kind of like Dead Space. Oh, I should use my Dead Space crew. So many ideas for horror movie games. Some advanced technology, some new stuff like bug bombs, climber gloves, force rounds, incendiary ammo, scramble grenades and shock malls, and the bestiary, sorry. So bugs, all the different bug types. Acid spear bugs, drone bugs, queen bugs. The queen bug is no joke. Move 5, fight +5, armor 14, 16 health. It's bug with powerful but unaggressive. It won't attack you unless the other bugs are already dead. And a royal guard bug. And then the zombies, bloater zombies, plague zombies, soldier zombies, and then the attribute list. So things like expert climber, no penalties for climbing, bugs. This creature is a member of an insight-like race and part of a hive mind. If the queen is ever killed, this figure is immediately stunned, and this trait includes the never wounded trait. So bugs are never wounded, but if the queen dies, they're all stunned because they're psychic link. Then beast fighter, you get +1 fight when fighting an uncontrolled creature and +1 shoot when making a shooting attack against an uncontrolled creature with a pistol, carbine, or shotgun. Acid spewer, all crew members within 2 automatically take 2 points of damage when this creature takes damage. So if you are an acid bug, that's not good. And then a lot of this stuff like powerful, ×2 damage, range attack. A lot of these are strong or from the core rulebook too, just like reprinted here for the sake of like use. And there it is. So Quarantine 37, horror movie stuff for Stargrave. I mean, Joe might as well have just written this book for me. I love sci-fi horror movies. I love all the tropes that are in here. I'm just mad he didn't wait and get me to write the zombie part, but it's okay. I forgive him. yeah, it's got lots of great stuff in here. Even if you're not interested necessarily in the horror movie like campaign section of it, I like the fact that there's aliens and zombies. If you're not a zombie fan, there's alien stuff. If you're not an alien fan, there's zombie stuff. And then just the archetypes and the sort of like new backgrounds and soldiers make this worthwhile for anybody's Stargrave collection. So lots of cool stuff in here. The ticket is UK £20, US $30, Canadian $39.99. And it will be available soon. So big thanks for watching. We'll see you for more GMG reviews in the future. Till then, I'm Ash. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that video. There are tons of other games already recorded for you to watch. Click over to my channel page if you haven't already, and have a look through the dozens of playlists full of videos. I guarantee you'll discover a game you haven't seen played before. I put out new videos 7 days a week, and every day is themed to a different genre as I continue to explore the wider world of gaming. Of course, none of that's possible without you, the viewer, so click a like and subscribe if you'd like to stay on top of what's happening here daily. My two kids and I are massively grateful to be able to have the flexibility of this job so I can always maximize my time with them. If you want to support me continuing to put out this content, it's only possible because of my amazing backers on Patreon who support the studio, equipment, and model cost, as well as being how I make the bulk of my living. You can also help out by buying a t-shirt through Spreadshirt, a measuring gauge or widget from Death Ray Designs, or buying one of my games and supplements like Last Days, Gamma Wolves, and Blaster. As a way of showing my appreciation, patrons get early access to new games and supplements that I write throughout the course of the year. Huge thanks for watching, it really does help out, and happy gaming.